Hello, hello. I just finished watching your video. Chilling out, hanging out in Europe, which is such a weird thing to say. The last few days have been crazy. Firstly, just first few notes just off the top of my head after watching your video. One, you go into these with so much more thought and so much organization than I do, with also video edits. I mean, I guess I did that one, but like, I am not even a notebook in front of me of stuff I'm going to say. So, I'll figure it out, but it's kind of fun to see the differences. Also, when you mean by incoherent rambling, oh my god, I have no idea what you're saying, no idea what you're doing, and it does take me a little bit to catch back up of what you're trying to say, which is kind of funny, but I guess you also kind of get that from the style of videos, so that makes sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if parts of my own speech isn't also a little incoherent at times. In regards to that whole system of like embedding other parts of your life, I wish I was a little bit more quantitative with that with myself and more driven on that. Like I just kind of coast a little bit on that kind of focused self-improvement and just kind of happens. And there's definitely areas in my life where I'm struggling on a little bit that I think I need to put a lot of effort in, but there's not really much that I'm like, I think I'd rank myself below a 4 or 5 on that, like, I need to put my head down and grind. So, like, it's harder to get that motivation, if that makes sense. But it is what it is. It seems like with what you're talking, the main thing that you need to do is find the ways to motivate you to do the things, like how you did with the gym, and building up those systems of motivation and the path forward in that regard for, in my opinion, the personal hobbies would help the career, which would help the finances, and all of that would come together. So seems like I would say, relatively straightforward path to me. Austria's been good. Jet lag has completely fucked me, especially the red eye flight out here, where I thought I slept the whole thing, but I really did not get a good sleep. So, like, yesterday I crashed at 7, woke up at 2 a.m. this morning after 7 hours of sleep and felt great. So I was like, well, fuck, I have 4 or 5 hours until I can like properly eat breakfast and then go to the office and stuff. So that was wild. I'm trying to stay up as late as I can today to get my sleep schedule to a proper time, and it's been a little easier too. Like I haven't been like yawning and feeling like I'm gonna pass out at like 5 p.m. It's almost 10 right now, so I'm getting there. I'm probably gonna finish this video, upload it, and go to bed. We'll be there soon. Living and like I've traveled to Europe before, but coming basically by myself at the beginning, and like now I have a friend in my program who I'm living with, who's I'm working together. So now I have someone, but for the first bit being alone and not coming to be a tourist but coming to live is such a different feeling. There's very much like I'm trying to be a tourist in some sections, but there's a lot of just little things going through my head of like, oh, I have to go set this up, I have to go do that. I'm trying to start to feel relaxed, which is never something that's coming to mind as a tourist. You're never thinking of how to get into a groove. It's just not ever something on your radar, and it's definitely quite an interesting thing, and not something I can really put a finger on of how to describe it. I'm starting to get to that groove. I think it's gonna be a good mid next week, but I'm starting to feel comfortable in this new environment. It's a very different environment. Like, one, everything everywhere is written in German, and my German's not good, but people speak English, so I've been able to get by. It's all medieval buildings with then modern sections to it, so it's like a weird mix that you never see in North America. Like, I'm walking and I'm like, this is a super old building. This has been around since like the 1800s. And then I'm like, there's a Claire's and a Dunkin' Donuts in the first floor. Cool. Like, I don't know. So there's a lot of little cultural things like that, and just how the city is that I need to get used to, which I think I will. Like, it's not something I'm worried about. Would I say it's at all culture shock? No. Um, though I find often I probably am feeling those emotions, but I put a larger weight on some of those terms. So what may be shock for me is much past shock for another person, just because of how I feel like. Okay, I cut out. I may have some storage issues. I need to fix it on my phone. Maybe delete some old stuff. But yeah, so no, I don't know how long it'll take me to get used to the culture thing and just these differences. I have no idea. And it may be something that, like, in a week's time, I get hit by culture shock, because I know it's not like an instant thing, but I don't know. We'll see. At least I have someone here who's like going through all the same shit as me, so it's not alone, which I think could get pretty lonely out here if I was. Thankfully, my company's really cool. It's all PhD students who are all with the university, like the technical university here in Graz. And it's all like all of like the administrative staff is all Austrian, but the PhD students are from everywhere, from Bosnia, Croatia, Tunisia, Spain, India, all over. So it's quite a fun group. Everyone's speaking English. They all probably have different native languages, and it's cool experiences. And everyone's young, like everyone's mid-20s. So it's a fun group. They're all pretty active people. So like I'll be joining the company on like a 5K run tomorrow, just cause. And I think of what one of the managers says, we're getting drunk afterwards. I'm like, sweet, sounds good. Super flexible work hours. I can pretty much do whatever I want. So it's gonna be a fun term. There's gonna be a lot of fun stuff to go on with that. So I'm quite excited on it all. I only had my first day today, and I dove right on in. So there's a lot of stuff to happen. So we'll see how that goes. I'll give you updates on projects and stuff. Seems like my main project right now is a automated fuel cell assembly system involving also a custom clean room with sensors and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. It's a lot of the same kind of Raspberry Pi stuff that I've experience with. So I don't know how difficult it will be. It may be something that I kind of blast through it, but I'm guessing there'll be some complicated robotics in there. Excited to start traveling. I'm going to be in Munich this weekend with my family. I'm going to be in Vienna the weekend after with some friends. So I'm excited to explore Europe. There's a lot of Europe to explore, obviously, and I'm in a really cool spot to do that from. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of little things. Like, I don't know. I arrived on a Sunday. It was dead, and then the Monday after was Labor Day. So it was also dead. So like the city was like a ghost town. So I was walking around, nothing was open, trying to find what I can get to eat and stuff. And it's very interesting. And there's a lot to take in of just like the sounds and smells of the city, because like the buildings are made out of different material. They're off-gassing different things. Like the city smells different. And also it's pretty humid. Like it almost feels tropical. Like it's pretty Mediterranean here. So it's a different feel. And then Tuesday morning was bustling city and like tight European streets with cars going everywhere. And I'm like, wow, this is a completely different feel, completely different smells and scents and sounds and all that stuff. So like it's quite interesting. And I was lucky to get here at that time to experience both. And I think it put the whole city in a different perspective for me, one that the other co-op students out here won't get, for better or for worse, who knows. But yeah, my goal is just to kind of have a good time, relax as much as I can, learn as much German as I can, and just kind of have a relaxing summer. We'll see how that goes. And as much of a learning opportunity as I can in character growth, right? Like, I mean, spending 4 months in a foreign country that I've never been in is definitely going to change me as a person. I'm expecting for the better, become more worldly. But I'm quite curious to see how I change throughout this term. I don't have any predictions in terms of what being more worldly means, because I feel like I'm a fairly worldly person to begin with. So yeah, we'll see. I really need to get this sleep schedule on track. That's like the biggest thing that's stopping me from getting a lot of the stuff done that I need to get done. There's not much you can do when you're awake for 4 hours when nothing's open. So yeah, hoping by Monday. By Monday is the goal. I was debating sending one of these videos of just updates of first few days in Europe before you responded. And I just did like as an addition to the other video, which I maybe should have done. I don't see a reason why I didn't. Maybe I was just busy and tired, but I don't think there's any issues with us double posting unless you think we should at double post. I will leave that up to you because, I'll be honest, I couldn't care less. Doesn't matter to me. Yeah. It's fun to hear that you're doing well. Glad you're figuring yourself out. Hope to see you soon. I mean, it's gonna be Christmas, so won't be soon, but I'll see you in another video. I'll talk to you later.